play.
Game resumed.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. SeKo StarCraft here with a new friend of mine. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Sepiormon, and for those watching it on my channel, this is my new friend SeKo StarCraft.
Yeah, well, this is a game me and my good friend would just... Sepiormon. Superior. Is it superior? Is it kind of like superior, like you're just better man kind of a thing?
Yeah, kind of like that, but it's not really spelt out on StarCraft like it should be.
Hey, ain't no thing. I know that right now the dialogue you guys are seeing on the screen is me and him trying to get the actual audio to work between both of us. And because that's really not the case, essentially is me being able to talk and him being able to type. So it makes it a little bit more of an awkward attempt at coordinating any type of activity.
Yeah, we kind of switched that out. I was able to talk earlier and he couldn't talk.
And I still don't understand what changed to really allow it to go one way. It was like a tin can where only one could talk and the other could hear, and we just switched sides at one point. Regardless, on this side here, I know you mentioned you wanted to go for a 4-gate opening. If you guys see random discussion, that's Sepiormon responding to my talking. And I'm going for actually some sort of drop, but I noticed at the front that they're going to go and try to cannon rush. And I didn't expect it to be a cannon rush, and I guess this was a 9 pool or something of that nature.
Well, they finally got theirs out.
Look how awkward this, like, Zerg build is here. I don't know what he went. It must have been like an 8 pool or something. It's done. He is getting his lings out. He looks like he wants to get for some speed here. But yeah, we shut down that cannon pretty good.
You gotta keep in mind that the only one ranked on that other team was a purple guy, and he was silver, and the other guy was unranked.
Hey man, I am a top 2v2 silver player, I'll have you know.
Well, it's better than my bronze with a sort of new player.
Assist. I'm not too sure exactly what it means for you to assist with your 4-gate. It's just really in my mind, like, I'm just going to go for Hellions, because Hellions against Protoss, Hellion drops just work so well. You don't even need Hellbats. They're just so good at killing off opponents. So that was my thought process, and then I see all these lings run in.
Well, lucky thing you're going Hellions.
Yeah, that did help me out, but I don't have any like SCVs to fight with because I cut all my SCV production to try to get
Here was
tech
the
up.
funny thing about me. I was gonna build a Zealot, but I was supply blocked.
I'm trying to do a bit of a mineral attack move there, but all I really end up doing is getting my shit killed faster. I'm actually not super familiar with what to do in this standpoint. It's usually me playing Zerg rushing people, not the other way around. Yeah, those are cannons killing all my supply depots, which is fantastic. You're about to witness every single last worker of mine die.
Well, I'm using every single one of my last workers
to fight while I'm getting out my Hellion. I just want you to keep attacking because I can't risk my Hellion getting surrounded when it comes out. And if you look at his lings dancing around there, I kind of got a little bit of sweat going on there. Just managed to sneak that out. And if his speed was finished in time right now, we would just lost. Like, it would just been done.
Yeah, but you had the smart idea to go for later in the game. But still.
And I see him slow down that cannon. I'm like, you son of a bitch. If I don't have enough problems already, I don't need your... Oh, he killed my... I think he killed that with his probe. No, he didn't. I was going to say, if he killed my Hellion had like 10 kills on it. It was a hero. It was a war hero Hellion.
Well, it was the only Hellion in this game.
Yeah. I have my mules, which, as anybody knows, is enough to win a game off anyways, but I did have to ask you for some minerals to build something, because I was down to 40 bucks.
I give you like 300, well 100, then a 300 with 200 gas.
Yeah, I just jumped up a little bit there, which is good. If we look at both of their bases, they've really got nothing planned right now. They're not really building any more workers, they're not building anything fancy. He's going up to lair tech, which I don't even know why that matters. I tried to move over my barracks because I was going to consider trying to help wall off again and just try to narrow the choke in case more lings run up. But that, at some point, is not going to work out, essentially, because these cannons down here aren't going to work as well. I remember cannon rushing recently as a Protoss, and I didn't know that they changed the game so that low ground pylons don't power high ground cannons. Did you know that?
Yeah, I was trying to do a 4-gate where I placed a pylon on the low ground and put it connected to the high ground, and it wouldn't let me spawn units.
It's so sad. I went for this great rush and like, why isn't this working? And I kind of cried to myself. It was sad.
Yeah, he baited. I can't even read my reading when I type. Well, read my writing when I type.
I think it's supposed to be I didn't choose to go because he ran up a couple links and baited down your zealots into the cannons. But you only lost one though, so that's alright. And my Hellions will deal with any of the links that he decides to run in.
Sadly, I lost that zealot, just barely. I love how the Zerg just expands in front of our base.
Yeah, well that's clever. I do the same thing when I go for these kind of cheeses as a Zerg, but it's usually so I can get up crawlers to try to hit the high ground. At this point, it doesn't serve him any advantage other than he can spawn out units closer to us. So
well, he does have protection with the cannons.
Exactly, that's true. But at the high ground, right? If he started making cannons along the back of that mineral line, maybe. But he wouldn't be able to get the high ground vision. So once again, your stalkers here are starting to pick away at all of his stuff.
If I were that Zerg player, I would just run up one link.
But it dies so fast, right? That's why my Hellions are right behind the barracks in the factory. So that way if he did run up those links, they would die super fast. And they would not be able to get surrounded. I was aware that that was probably what they were going to try to do. So you see a Zealot running up there right now to do the same thing.
Yeah, but by then I have 4 Stalkers.
Yeah, and of course, all their tech choices right now, Zealots and Zerglings, are terrible against Stalker Hellion. So we would be able to hold off just about anything they do just fine. That's a lot of cannons down there.
Yeah.
And a random gateway too. He doesn't even have warp gate research. He's just look at the queue up on that. 4 Zealots, you know, just one at a time. I could build 4 gateways, but instead I'll just queue up 4 Zealots. That'll work a lot better.
Yeah, but he doesn't want to copy me at all, so...
I did notice that he was about to attack with all those roaches and zealots, so I just prayed you would hold on because I just ran out all of my units in that one medevac. Which technically he saw, but, you know.
Well, if you look at what he's attacking us with, and look at my army, I'm surprised he just didn't go for it.
Yeah, it's interesting. If you have speed Zerglings, you can run around and do some damage. Like if you ran past your units and into your mineral line, you'd probably get a few kills before you're able to take it out. So they could have done some better things at this standpoint. Regardless, you've actually got enough units out right now that I have faith in you. You can say it that way.
And then there goes your buildings. You were like, I'm gonna get out siege tanks and then destroy your tank.
Yeah, and so I'm like, well, so much for that strategy. I'll just go kill workers now.
Which he did. Which sadly you didn't have Hellbats.
Well, the thing about the Hellbats is that they're not fast enough. I purposely want to go for Hellions, because I can get 4 of them in a medevac as opposed to 2, and they will run faster to chase down workers.
I love how I'm just letting my Stalkers die. And then finally get away. And then again, he doesn't chase with this full army, so
yeah.
I'm able to pick this off.
But you notice, like, once again, because I have Hellions and not Hellbats, I managed to kill all of his workers, because I can go faster than them. Hellbats, I'd actually have to try to micro with a medevac, and that would not work as well. So it was a very conscious choice to go Hellions.
And then there goes your robot, there goes your, I don't know what it's called. Again, factory. Yeah, there we go.
My robots, yes. Well, right now, you see I picked up 4 or 5 workers and ran them away. I've already decided that I'm going to lose all of this shit at some point. All I'm going to try to do is be as effective as possible. So I'm going to keep mining for a while just to pull off enough minerals so that way I can go expand.
I never actually saw your other base until they actually took out the command center.
I was hoping to save that command center, but eventually they bring in some other units to put some pressure on it.
Yeah, they had some stalkers, I believe.
Anyways, the Protoss is down to essentially no workers, but he did get up that sneaky other base there that I was not aware of. That's a lot of stalkers you got there. That's actually pretty effective.
I think a Mortal would have been more effective, but I was more focused on macro.
It would have been worthwhile to maybe stuff.
And then I love what I did here. I trapped his roaches.
Yeah. Yeah, the warp in block is pretty cute. And then I lose my command center because I'm a tool.
You're like, can you repair that with your portal?
I had nothing else I could do. It wasn't. If I actually did pick it up, I might have been able to drop a mule to save it, but it was very unlikely. So I'm building 2 new command centers, and I'm going to go into mass marine at a whole new world, a different place.
And then I picked up with the idea of you not being in the base anymore by pushing away their army.
Realizing what happened to my partner. There's a supply depot that's the only remnants of his base left.
I thought it was funny because I was like, okay, he's going somewhere else. And then I get to probe out and just expand.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, this is so sneaky. If this works, like if this game was to go another like 20 minutes, I was actually in a good position if I could get these bases saturated up because of all the workers I killed to be able to do well. Because if you look at the worker count for these 2 guys, it's amazingly low, and my 2 beat-ass Hellions are killing the rest of the probes that are now trying to run away. Lining up nicely for me.
You know, I think his mistake here was to go for Hydra tech. Because there was no real point in it.
Mass Zergling would have worked. Just like 50 or 60 Zerglings would have probably just worked.
Yeah, and then he just leaves. The Zerg player just leaves. He doesn't care.
Well, that's why I say GG then. I'm like, well, I guess that's the end of the game. I'm all excited about my new base under the sea with these 2 barracks that are going to win me the game here. It was pretty funny. But no, that was a pretty funny fail game. Very heavy cheese from them. But yeah, not the sharpest knives in the drawer, that's for sure.
You know, I think he could have taken out your Hellions just by using his probes.
He could have. I was paying attention to them to not get surrounded, but if he made a cannon in each mineral line, he would have been fine. But I do like that you're building a base on top of the remnants of my corpse in there as well. It's not like a mat or anything like that. I just didn't have to give up on me.
Well, you had 2 bases, so I was trying to catch up.
Of course. Alright, well, I hope you guys kind of enjoyed that. I haven't casted too many 2v2s with my good friend here, Sepiormon. And hopefully we'll have some more games coming up for you guys here real soon.
Yeah, and if you're in my channel, then I'll leave a link in the description like I always have before this. So, just keep that in mind.
Alright. Thanks, everybody. We'll talk to you later.
Sepiormon out.